I,
All right, good afternoon, everybody. It is Michelle Poe here. It is March 24th. I can't believe it. And we have Dr. Brett Brimhall and many other medical professionals here on this beautiful day. And we are just so excited to have you here. We've been looking forward to doing this call for quite some time so that we can help serve and answer questions. And so you all can get out there to help and to bless and to set up your offices or to speak to your employer or whatever it is. But I just first want to say thank you. Thank you so much for being a part of LifeVantage. Thank you so much to listening to the calling that has been put upon your heart within the mission of your soul to bring these products, these activators, to be a part of your daily mission. And I can feel it deep within your souls as, as I speak to so many of you, how you can bless and impact in ways that you've never been able to, or in even bigger ways, right? Another tool in the toolbox to take your humans that you hold so near and dear to another level that you pray for, right? And when you went into medical school or when you went to any schooling, you had it on your heart to help people. And to know that you've said yes to something that is going to, and that is taking it even bigger levels. I just want to personally, and I know everybody else here feels the same, just say thank you for that. And I'm excited for you because I know it'll be 14 years since Sean and I first joined. I know what these products and what this business and what this community has done for thousands of people. So thank you. So we're going to hop into it. Shauna Loggy was so beautiful. I just want to honor her first because she was with Brett just recently in Arizona and has some team members as well that are in the medical profession and wanted to get this call put together. So Shauna, thank you for organizing it and getting us together and making this happen so that we can get questions answered. Those of you that are watching live, if you can please put into the chat bar, number one, where you're from, what is your background so that you can make connections with others here, but then questions that you have so that we can see them and try to get to them within the time allotted that we have. That would be super awesome. So Dr. Brett Brimhall, who is going to be the main featured speaker or I don't know. We'll just call you the main featured speaker. What did I call you the other day? The fancy pants. Here, he's a healer and he's a gift, and he's definitely an angel. He is a chiropractor, works in functional medicine. He's traveled all over the world, educating other practitioners, and he is on the scientific advisory board here with LifeVantage. He's an author, and he saw LifeVantage and witnessed change, especially through Axio, that grabbed his attention and got him to come here to Sioux Falls to meet the creator of that and to really find out how in the world did that little boy have such significant changes in a certain amount of time. And from that moment forward, really dug in. And like I said, is now a part of the scientific advisory board. So if we can all give Dr. Brett a round of applause and thank him for being here. And right under Dr. Brett on my screen, I see Dr. Jess Bueller. Dr. Jess is here from South Dakota. She is also on the scientific advisory board. She's a chiropractor. Plus, she has many other backgrounds and things that she studies and literally blows my mind as well. So you will probably be hearing some things from her as well too. So Jess, thank you for all of your questions and thank you for being here to help everybody. So let's hop in. Well, Brett, I'm gonna just pass it to you. Do you want to say anything to everybody before we get started?
yeah, real quick. And I don't know, I appreciate you, Shauna and Michelle, both for helping us put this together. And I have a huge respect for anybody that's in the medical profession.
Yes.
I think the majority of people in the medical profession, they got into it because either they were injured or someone of their loved ones were injured or something like that, had a health crisis, and they just felt this calling to help. And so at the core of who they are, me particularly, is, oh, well, we want to help people. Like, we just don't know how not to. And part of that calling oath we took is to do no harm and to help people at whatever level we possibly can and keep learning. At the same time, I'm a doctor, but at first I'm a father and a husband. And what that means is I have a desire and a huge desire to provide for my family. and that's provide physically, provide emotionally, and provide financially. And so I also have a huge respect to anybody in the medical profession that's got that too. You're trying to help people get well. At the same time, you're trying to provide for your family. And at the same time, you feel isolated. Many of us are single doctor practices or in groups, and sometimes we feel alone. We feel like we're supposed to know everything and supposed to help everybody. And so I'm just glad you're here. I ended up here because of just this desire to help people. Had somebody I wasn't helping the well as well as I would like to, and was constantly learning. And I didn't think it would come in the form that it did. And so typically my failures have been my greatest teachers. So I just have a huge respect for those that are professionally here. Overview, what I want you to get from this is to learn to be open to what we're going to share. And if your desire is to help people more, you're going to learn some things about that. If your desire is to provide more for your family, you're going to learn that also. If your desire is to have a community you can be a part of, both medical community and a community that's had this mission of helping people get well across the board, and to find a like-minded group of people, medical professionals and non, you're here. We're also going to teach a little about systems of how to implement this in your office. But if you want to expand bigger, as to how you can help more people that aren't local to you. And so I'm actually glad Dr. Bueller is on here with me. She is we're both chiropractors, both in that alignment. We both kind of got led here based upon individuals we wanted to help, but weren't helping as well as we wanted to. This was a piece of that puzzle, but then it's opened up other avenues to create a bigger impact globally, to also free up our time. For most physicians and most people in general, our time is limited. And so if I can get more gain from the time I have, both in impact and also financial security, then that gives me time to be with my family. And so this can give us all those. And our goal of being here is to help you learn what that looks like, and then help maybe answer some of the questions you might have of how do you go about doing it, and give you some tools that you can implement. And then from there, it's like, okay, now let's make a decision on how you want to start. So then you'll get back to the person, hopefully invite you to look at this, and then set a game plan for yourself. We'll give you some general ideas and guidelines, but like if you're in my group, like I want to then sit with you and say, okay, what works for you right now? For me, it was very different when I first started, and it's different now. But all along the same goal of helping people, creating more time for me and my family, and to create financial security for me now and for my family for long term. So that's kind of the quick overview.
That's so amazing, Brett. Thank you. And thank you for mentioning, first and foremost, being a father and a husband, because he is that, and an exceptional one at that, and a dear friend. I also love you mentioning getting back to the person that invited you and that you enrolled with, because everybody does do things a little bit differently. So everything that you hear today is going to be ahas, like, oh my gosh, that's such a good idea. Oh, I haven't thought about that. Oh, what about this? What about that? So as we do this, we come together and we bring all the ideas, and maybe just the one little thing that Dr. Jess does or Dr. Brett does, or one thing will make that difference within your practice and that you can share. So thank you so much in regards to that. And Dr. Jess, do you want to say anything else to what Dr. Brett said there? She's in agreement.
No, I think that's perfect. I think your mission here can change as you go. And I think how you approach what you're doing in your practice, outside of your practice, and just your desire to show up and to help. And it's always one person at a time. It's always that one more person that you can help. And when you first start this as a physician, you're looking at their health. And really maybe only their health. And the longer you look at this, the more you can see how your impact can be just exponentially more powerful. And it's so much more than just health here. So yeah, I think Brett covered that.
Thank you. Thank you. So we have basically two different groupings of people. Really the people that have their own practice. And then we have other individuals that may work with it at a hospital, or they may work for a doctor, and they don't have ownership rights or whatnot. So we're going to kind of answer some of those questions on both sides, and hopefully help give some different ideas. So if you guys can kind of have the back of mind when you answer each of those different questions. But when somebody comes into your office and you see them, I know you guys talked about streamlining, and we know the power of these activating products and the power of each of them and how every single person is different. When you talk about, how do you streamline the process because you have so many that come in every day, what does that look like for you and how do you go about that?
So I'll go first real quick. So in my office, when they come in, it's a brand new person, or maybe someone you've worked with before, and you're learning about these products, I'm always, what is it that they want? What are their health goals? And so no matter what you're choosing to do, it's got to be in alignment with what they need. Right. So in my office, when they come in and they're seeking help from me physically about something that's going on, then I'm looking, okay, what systems or what products or tools can I utilize to help them get there faster and stay there long term? So when they come to my practice, whether that's looking at lab work or whether that's, having a conversation with them in my practice, then all I do is I make recommendations for them on what to do. And so when it comes to these products, I simply say, here's what I would recommend you do. This is what it's going to take. Here's how long I want you to be on them. I fill out a little form that looks like this. It's just or the products that they're on there. I can send it to Michelle. It's just all the products. And then from there, they just sign the form and my staff put it in. So it ships directly to them. And I carry some products in my office, but with LifeVantage, I have products on the shelf, but I don't typically sell them. I tell them, look, straight up, it's less expensive. The best price you're going to get is you get it directly from the company. I want it coming directly from the company. So one, if you aren't near me, like I treat a lot of people from other places, then I want you to be able to get it anywhere you are. And I want you to get the best price. But if you want to buy it here, just know it's going to be more because I got to sell retail. And so I just have them fill that form out, and then we put that in for them, give them their password and their login. I said, just follow the email. If you ever need to change it, order your can. And so that's in my office. That's as simple as it is. And from there, I will typically then give them videos to watch about what the products are and what they're doing. That way it streamlines my time and gets them what they need. That's purely if they come in my office. So if they come in my office, that's the way the process works. And then periodically, if I'm reassessing, I'm going to do that either through lab work or through conversations and make adjustments accordingly. And as you learn about the products, you'll realize which ones are both what maybe you're looking for short-term relief or long-term relief. I think a lot of these, most of the things we use with LifeVantage are long-term for the benefits. But that's how I'd look if they came into my office.
Awesome. So you have the sheet and then you have your recommendations for them. You cross it off, whatever it is, and then you let them know all those deals. It's going to be less expensive. It's going to be shipped direct to your home. We're going to give you your login and your password. So then they sign it because they know what they're doing. Does it have the prices on that sheet or
So
no?
the prices right on the form. And that way they know what it is.
Okay.
And now, so for those people that aren't computer savvy, it's nice because we just put it in for them. And then
Yeah.
we give them the phone number to LifeVantage as well in case that they need to make some adjustments. Now I'll send them a video about how to manage their account as well. So that, again, this is about, this is as a doc, like time wise, and also my staff. I don't want to take a ton of time. And so
Yeah.
I just the set up. So here's the phone number, right? And then also and here's your login and password, you take care of it. Here's a video to watch on how you can do that if you need to. So it allows you
Amazing.
to streamline all of that together.
So they take the form and they go out to your front desk superstar. She puts it in for them. All their information, gets the login, gets the password, puts in their credit card information, which takes less than 5 minutes. And then they're out the door. And then you guys email them, I'm guessing, a video of how to manage their account, like you said, and then also the number. And FYI, if you guys aren't aware, your customers can also text customer service. So the phone number that he's going to be giving and that you guys give, the main customer service number, is a phone number, but it can also be text, which is great. And what I recommend for you all to do, if able, you can borrow a video from somebody or your team, have them help make one for you as far as, how to manage the account. But think of taking your team's video or your enroller or one that you see maybe from one of us and make your own, because people want to see your beautiful face. Like, even if it doesn't all make sense, just duplicate exactly, just practice exactly what that person does and says, and then you will have that every single time that you enroll anybody on that. So beautiful. Thank you. Jess, how do you do it when somebody comes in?
No add-on, although I do just I do offer a slightly different option, a kind of a revolving inventory. Same process that Dr. Brett just recommended, except I will have them, if they want to take product the day they leave the office, they take product off of my shelf. And when we enter their stuff into the system, we have their first order shipped back to my office, and then we set up their subscription to go to their address. And so we delete out my office address before they even access their account, because you can do it like instantly, send their first order to my office, and then we change it to their address, and then otherwise exactly the same setup. And not everybody chooses that. Some people don't do that, but just as an option for those that want to leave that day with product, I do revolving inventory. And a lot of people love that. Because they want to start like the day you talk to them about it. But otherwise, the fastest delivery is typically for first orders too. So it's still like less than a week. So it just depends on the person.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Thank you so much. How about patients that would like your cell phone number? What is the best recommended approach for establishing a separate business line or a sense of communication to respect those boundaries for you all?
Question. I think it really depends on the practitioner. When
Yeah.
it comes to a lot of my patients have my personal cell phone number, but they also know if you abuse it, then it's over. I also, and I think a lot of docs have this anymore. A lot of us have phone number people can text. So a lot of my patients just have my office line. That's my text line as well as my phone line. That's great. Now, the cool thing about LifeVantage is you have an app that actually had the text option. So if people just want to use that line as well. I would encourage you to, so if you're a single doctor practice and you want to streamline stuff, have it text directly to your office. So your front desk whoever is seeing those messages, and then you'll see they're very common questions. Like you answer the same question probably 10 times a day, no matter whether it's a new patient question or it's just a product question. Great. Once you have that question, you train your front desk. And I just train them to send the video I've already created. So to answer the question, whether it's, say, how do I reorder, or what is this product doing? I would really encourage you to watch a video and create your own. With the practitioners that come into our business through this, I said, look, let's do some videos together so that one, it's their face, and maybe they're interviewing me a little bit, but now it's their face on the video, so their patients are used to seeing them. And then if they decide to build a team with LifeVantage, they can duplicate that same process as well. So that's kind of how we do it. So as far as the phone number, short answer is, I would encourage you just send it through your office. If you're doing this in your office, you have an office line number, and hopefully it's a text line. I think anymore now it seems like it is that way. Although with me, I've kind of done both.
Amazing. Thanks, Jess. Anything to add to that for you?
Same thing. A lot of that was when I first started, though. Very few patients had my cell phone number. Very few. And since LifeVantage, it's just, yeah, there's a certain level of respect with having access to it. And yes, if there's a point where that needs to end, then that's a choice too. But it's really just keeping your own boundaries of how you use it and what you're using it for. But it's absolutely essential for me building the business to have access to, whether it's cell phone or it's messenger, but some way to communicate easily to send out those videos. Technology, totally not my jam. So I want it even easier than the average person wants it too. So simple is definitely key.
Thank you so much. And I'm seeing in the comments, because I know we're going to have a lot of replays. LifeVantage does have a great video on Vimeo on how to manage a subscription. So just know that, get with your team, check the chat right now. Maria put that in there. It's beautiful. It's easy. It's awesome. Maria also mentioned that there's a lot of info on the hub. In regards to other ways to communicate with these guys, Voxer, Tanya put in there, is great. WhatsApp is great. If you want to use a separate phone number and you're not using your main office, but you want it to be through text, there's something called Project Broadcast. That is really good. That is a whole different number, but it comes through as a text, and your message back to them does come through as a text. Now, Project Broadcast does have cost to it, so just know that. So those are a few other options as well. One question was in regards to, you know, ethical and legal guidelines for sharing these products within the office. And I know this will be for, think of the hospital side and then on your guys' side. I know your hearts for all of it, but what are your responses when anybody comes with those questions towards you?
Should just go first. I've been first all these, so.
Say the question again, Michelle. For some reason, it's cutting out just your voice for
Sorry.
me.
Oh, I'm sorry. The question was, what are the ethical and legal guidelines for
Oh.
sharing these products within the office? But also think of your office, but then also healthcare.
Yes. So I do think that, you know, if you're working for a public or a private organization, they're going to have their own policies, and that's going to be specific to the organization. So you're going to have to look through what you can and cannot do ethically, legally, as far as that standpoint goes. But if you own your own or you're in a private practice, obviously you have a lot more freedom for how you're able to do that. And I do know that some of them that, you know, again, looking to see what your organization, your company allows, because I have seen where people have been able to, you know, where they're not allowed to talk about products in general, network marketed or just any product. They're not allowed to talk about products. So, but they are allowed to communicate with those people in and out of the office. So they could still like be Facebook friends. Like, are you on Facebook? You could follow me for tips, you know, and whatever they're, you know, I've had where somebody's in, say, physical therapy, or they're a medical doctor. Like I like to connect with people outside of the office. You know, most organizations, you can be a friendly contact with them as long as you're letting them come then to reach out to you about what you're doing versus you reaching out to them about what you're doing. So I've seen a lot of times where people have done that, access people in a way, whether it's through social media, typically social media of some sort. So you're not giving them your cell phone number. You're not asking them to purchase products. You're not even telling them about product. You're just asking them if they're into social media, and, you know, that you put out other options for people when it comes to their health. And most people are interested in what their doctor does outside of what they're doing in their practice as well. So, but otherwise, if you're not tied down to what the, you know, to any of that, or if your organization will let you, then it's, you know, keeping it simple and streamlined again. Like, do you have postcards or some of the back office handouts that LifeVantage has already provided? Getting a QR code that goes directly to your website where they can simply, you know, get your QR and have it be directed right to your site. Or postcard, and just simple things that you can give them information about as well. Yeah. Anything else, Dr. Brett, that you've seen with,
I agree
with this
100%.
one?
Just check. Yeah,
I
just
mean,
check with like, again, if it's your office, it's your decision. Right.
yes.
And also that's also with people that work in your office. If you have associates or if you have other medical assistants and they're sharing the product, you decide what that looks like for you. So in my office, like I have two other consultants in my group. So if they're their patients, right, they came in to see them, they can put them in as underneath them as their customer. Totally cool. If they come in my office to me and they end up talking about it, they're still going to go in my organization. Okay.
Mhm.
When it comes to like how you share it, like if you're in a hospital setting and they say you can't talk about nothing, all right, well, that's fine. You just don't do it then. Now, it doesn't change the fact that you know this might help people. And so that's why I always tell people, like, whether they mean to or not, they're gonna find you if they want to. So
Mhm.
if your desire is to create other impact outside of your practice, your desire is to help people, empower them, it's not always going to happen only in your office. You know, this is the whole reason why I'm on social media, the whole reason why I do posts and stuff like that. It's not because I like it, right? I want, so here's, and this is how I view it. You got to be in front of where people are, and they're looking for answers in places that aren't related to doctors. They're looking at in places from influencers and Instagrammers and other stuff like that that really, in my opinion, do not have the experience nor the knowledge, nor the expertise, nor the hundreds of thousands of hours of pain of treating patients that you have. So find a way to be comfortable being out in front of public that way. Be confident in what you have. As long as it's legal, moral, and ethical, just make sure you know your state laws. Make sure you know the laws of the company or organization you work under, and just abide by those, right?
Mhm.
But if you can be online, and if you have a desire to have other businesses, like I have multiple businesses, like choose what you want that to look like. And if you do that, that can help you branch out. Because as much as I love seeing patients here locally, I have people coming all the time and they ask me, you know, they'll ask me a question about something they saw. It used to be in magazines, now it's on Instagram, right? And every time I'm like, are you for real right now? Like, so you believe this Instagrammer over somebody that's been treating patients for 25 years, teaching physician for 30? I said, like, I can respect that, but you really need to like consider who you're listening to. And so now that's not a knock on Instagram, just so you guys know. Hopefully that doesn't take it that way. But I want physicians to step up. People are looking for you to step up and step into what you already know, and just understand the model you work under. It may not be designed to help you help patients the way you want. And if that's the case, like it's okay, you work within those parameters. Like I'm a chiropractor, right? So I'm not going to go out there and do surgery. That's not my jam, right? Not who I am. But if in my parameters I can do certain things and I can influence people outside of my local environment, why not? And with Life Vantage, it gives me the ability to not only do that with my people that are in my office, but my team members and the people that I work with. So just keep, they'll say, we can't answer like to everybody what it's going to look like. And you have to check on your state law, check on, you know, the organizations you work under. Be respectful. So if I have a new person that's coming in that's actually works at part of like whether it's a hospital or a multi-doctor facility, I said, look, be honest with who owns the practice. Ask them, say, hey, here's what we're doing. This is what we're seeing science-wise. This is why I think it might be beneficial. Can we have a conversation? Just keep the conversation clear. And so that whatever that person decides or whatever the organization decides, you stick with it. There's people that have not been able to talk about these products at all in their facilities just because of where they worked, but they built the business outside of their practice because they knew it was helpful. And so they just shared with people that are outside their practice, and people find physicians online all the time, right? So have a presence out there. If that's one of your desires, is to help people as well as create other businesses or other influence outside your practice. That's what I would say.
I got one more thing.
Yes,
One
please.
more thing. Ethical. Ethical comes down to, I think Brett said in the very first bit there about above all doing no harm and having your patient's best interest at heart. And that's what you're doing with the products that you recommend. You're choosing the products that you think will give them the best result in the shortest amount of time. That applies no matter what products I'm recommending. And the other thing I've had people say is, well, there's a boundary of where I'm making money off the person by selling the product. Guess what? They're coming to my office to see me, and I make money when they come to see me. My services are the same thing. I'm selling a product. The product is me. They're coming to your office to see you, whatever it is you do, they're paying for that. And when you recommend a product, if I recommend some product off of Amazon, Amazon makes money. If I could recommend the best of the best supplements, and somebody still might go to Amazon and get it. And I don't benefit when they purchase that on Amazon, but also their quality goes down and their impact goes down. And we're the only activation company. So, I mean, I still think it comes back to ethics is you, it's your morals, it's what it's all about the person you're thinking about in front of you. And do you make something when somebody purchases your product? Yes, you do. But you're going to make something from them regardless. They're already coming to see you and they're paying you for that. And you're just adding more tools for them to basically enhance their outcome. So it's not an ethical issue. It still comes back to wanting the best for your patient and using these as a tool.
I love that so much. And that was another question that was going to be asked in regards to earning money off of it being network marketing. And you guys, it's always the mindset, and sometimes it is that education, because like she said, when they go in to see her, they're paying for her. If she, LifeVantage product, will she get paid? Sure. But guess what? Other products that she'll have, or that Dr. Brett has, or somebody else that they sell off the shelf, do you think they get paid zero for that? If it's not a network marketing company and they're selling another product off the shelf, they're going to get paid from that other company. They are. Everything is business. It just is. So we have to give them the belief of why these products are so big. And it goes back to what she said, the ethical side of the science, and helping them get the end results faster from the beginning. And Miss Mama Maria is on here, and she and I were talking earlier. And I told her to please unmute, because she has several medical professionals as well. And so I said, please unmute anytime that you want to add anything in. So Maria, was there something that you wanted to add in? We were talking this morning about somebody enrolling somebody else, like acupuncturist or whatnot. Do you want to add on to that maybe?
Yeah, thanks. So look at this as it's another tool to support, right? To optimize health. It's just another tool to support them. So if you're in a place where either a hospital setting or not in a private office where it's not your office and you can't talk about it, a lot of the things have been mentioned already. I had one doctor that had a website, and on that website, he posted educational information to help his patients. And he had a section on supplements. And he explained what oxidative stress is and how it damages the body, the cells. And he offered the solutions. And in there is where he put a link to his website, to the LifeVantage products. Dr. Brett already mentioned using social media. You can have a private Facebook, create your own private Facebook group. And as your patients come in, lots of, I'm hearing from doctors that lots of patients are coming in and asking, what can I take? What can I take naturally to support what's going on in my body? Like, how should I eat? How should I? So you can easily say, well, I have a Facebook group if you want to be part of, and you can have them sign off a disclaimer, right? Like, this is just educational information. And you can add them to the group, and then in there you can talk about, right? You can talk about what foods to eat, what supplements, right? And add these into it, peppered with everything that is, good for the entire body. The other way is, yes, to build a team, right? We had a doctor that could not talk about it in her office. So what she did is she had an acupuncturist friend, a chiropractor friend, that she went and talked to them outside of the practice, right? Talked about these products, what she liked about them. They got interested. They became consultants. So when she had a patient that came into her, she referred, if she felt it was something that would go more to the acupuncture side, she would refer them to the acupuncture, tell the acupuncturist, I'm sending over Kim, and I think Kim would do good on whatever products they were, right? So they're already part of her team. So whatever they build, she would, benefit from that. And then, or to the chiropractor side, right? She felt that's the way to go. But they already knew the patient was coming with a particular reason for their, that would benefit from their, whatever they practiced, and also include the products into it. And that's the way that she got around it. I've had other doctors that have enrolled their spouses, and they're really the support. They work it with the spouse, but the business is under the spouse's name. So there's a clear cut, right? If you feel concerned at all. And they were the support because they were the medical person. So they could come in and talk about the science and all of it. And then the spouse could talk about the other side, maybe the business side, to those people that were interested. So those are just some ideas. And I know a lot's been shared already to help everyone feel comfortable where they're at with this.
Thank you, Maria. Please unmute if you think of anything else that when things are being spoken of. I know a lot of people have been asking, in your offices, do you guys have anything specific, any videos running? Do you put Axia out and just sticks, so people can come and go and take? Do you have any marketing displays up? What do you guys do as far as that goes? Or anything that you've seen others do that you love?
So my office is set up to educate. And so when you walk in the office, there's posters that show the GLP-1 pictures and a QR code that's attached to it that takes them to my science page. Many times there's videos being played. There's products sitting out on the counter with a jar of Axial that people can purchase individually to try. There are Monsters and Red Bulls sitting in my room that people ask me, why are those there? Like everything that I do is intentional. Even the educational things you can kind of see behind me, these boards, is to create curiosity, to help people make a mindset change, and to educate. And so, but keep it simple. So everything that I do, like it's the videos that are created, it's just duplicate. So they can, it's just saves time from me and my staff. So even though I'm having, like, I might have the same conversation 15 times a day, I've done a video on that I can send out to people afterwards, like, so that they can have that. So that's why I do social media. I tell people to follow me on those things because I don't want them to, I want them to have a place to go to and to ask questions. So in my office, everything's set up that way, to educate them and to keep it simple. And if I can, to put them to where they go back to my site. So if I'm having physicians in my office to join my group, same thing. We want to create posters for them, do videos with them, QR codes for them, so that they just can naturally just put it up in their office. If they do nothing else, my brother's an orthopedic surgeon. Same with him. We have, he's crazy busy, like ridiculously busy. So he has a medical assistant that's a consultant, and so we kind of work mostly through her. Have posters in his office. So all they have to do, he can talk about it and say, I recommend you do this. They scan a QR code and go. And so that I just think the more you can do that as simple, like unfortunately, I meet a lot of physicians that their office is more for entertainment than education, and don't take that in the wrong way. Other than like, if you're coming to my office, you're not coming to me because I'm covered by your insurance. Like you're coming to me because you want to get well. And so everything about that office is like, there's no magazines in my office that is unhealth related. There's nothing else like that. Like I want them educated. I want them empowered. I want to impact them deeply versus, be remembered pleasantly. So that's the type of thing. I use posters, I use videos, I use QR codes. I have stuff set around to intentionally have them ask. So that's what I do.
I love that so much. I respect that. I remember myself going to, well, your office for one, but when I went out to Idaho, when I was doing some Lyme disease stuff to a doctor, I remember sitting in his office, and it was very much like it wasn't a Time magazine. It wasn't a People magazine. It wasn't in a newspaper. It was all about how to improve health in books. They also had testimonies. So compliant testimonies, you guys. Get a little binder, put them in there, have the sheets so people can read through while they're sitting there, inspire them, educate them, put some science in it if you want, put the video up on the wall, things of how they can be helped through different things that you're doing, how the products can help. There's just so many. I think that's beautiful. And I saw in the comments too, in regards to the Red Bull and the Monster sitting out, what can trigger them to really think, why would he have that there? And then they get their mind immediately on, wow, he has an answer for my health. Because, go ahead.
So my sister Sherry created a little video player too. So it has pictures of before and after collagen. Like I have a poster over here with the hair care, skincare stuff is sitting out in the office. It's just to create curiosity. Question: people are using product. Here's how I look at it. People are using products all the time that they're looking for something. And I can either let them keep using what they're using. Unfortunately, some of that stuff is probably toxic, or I can educate them on the possibility of something different. But I want to, again, I understand how busy doctor's offices are. You want to set it up where it creates the curiosity and train your team. So like, I have this stuff out there. I don't think I ever talk about skincare or hair care very often, right? Once in a while, right? But I'd say, that's a great question. Go ask Shirta, right? Because like, she knows that she uses it all the time. Like I use it, but like, I'm kind of clueless. Like I'll send you a video on the skincare, guys. Like I know a little bit about it, but like just, I send a video and I say, go ask Shirta. So you can train somebody in your office to that. I would encourage that. And the reality is, and this isn't all doctors, but most doctors are not good at business. Like in a general rule, your team knows how to do the business side. Just give them the tools and resources if you can do it in that way. And so that's why, Cher's amazing at that. Kathleen, my front office, is amazing at that. But you give them the tools and the power to do it.
And I'll just add on, by Brett having, because I was in his office in this last June, and there was a woman in there looking at different things in his office, because people just go around. If there's things to look at, they will roam around and look. And a woman started looking at the skincare. And I was there and he was busy with patients. So here I am talking to her about the skincare, but she wanted to get it then. So if you have those things out, I would want to know what my doctor recommends. Products that are clean, that are, are not going to be toxic to the body, get into the blood. And so don't just think, my suggestion for you is don't just think about, GLP-1 activation, mind body, or only healthy glow, or only Axio, really consider the full package. Maria just said, have a paper study for a survey for your patients. What would they like to learn more about? What other tools do they use for their health, etc.? So beautiful. Anything else, Jess, on that?
Well, let me add something really quick on that, because and this is difficult for me, because I don't think physicians want to be salespeople. I think that's kind of naturally something we hear about and think about. And I've gotten corrected multiple times on this. I didn't tell somebody something, and I should have. And they're like, "Why didn't you tell me about that?" And so now it's more, I said, look, here's, because people are looking and they want to know. So a lot of times I have to look at this. I'm costing them money and I'm costing them time if I don't share what I truly believe. And that's the reality. So just keep that in mind. If you're kind of in that mindset of like, I don't want it, I don't want to make money on people, or you're costing people money and time and health by not having some ways of actually trying to educate them. Because if you're using these products, or you're using other products that you feel are beneficial, and your patients found out you didn't tell them, they might be upset at you.
Facts. That's so good, Brett. And it always goes back to, what is your mission with it? Because we know how important these are. Jess, anything else on all of?
The back office handouts and the studies, whether you're putting them in page protectors or laminating them, but having those around in your office, I find super helpful as well. And but otherwise, the same things that Brett mentioned. There's a booklet, collagen before and afters booklet. Someone will have the link for that, I'm sure. I did not create it, but that one is super helpful. My hairstylist has one of those in her office too, or in her salon. And it's great because it has again, it's a tool, curiosity. They pick it up, they start looking at it, and then they're asking questions. And it's the same thing in my office that Brett has. Just flood your office, your space with things that they look at and they ask questions for, and then training your staff. And your staff naturally becomes a product of these products too, and you're not really having to train them that much because they're already doing it. Just like you did, Michelle, when somebody's asking about the skincare, they use them, then they're going to tell their story of what's happening with them too. And then, yeah, training them what videos to send, or, something that is the doctor explaining more about that is helpful too. But again, tools, always sharing tools instead of being the tool. And I think that's the one thing a doctor needs to learn as quickly as they possibly can, is to stop being the tool and share a tool. And if the tool doesn't exist, create it, make your own tools. And then you have that thing to share. And the more that you can share things that then your team can share too, right? Like it goes, it's not just about you, it's about making it simple and streamlined for everyone.
I think that's the biggest thing that medical professionals learn along the way. Because in the very beginning, they want to really be giving all the details, talk forever, right? Because it's the heart. I get it. I'm the same way. But when you do learn that by being the tool, I love that. So write a little note. Don't be a tool. Knock yourself on the head with the tool. Don't be a tool. We know where your heart is, but think about, how much faster you can do things. If you can get those tools in the back office, they are amazing. Dr. Nancy Bryan constantly is referring people back to the Healthy Glow study. She's like, that study is mind blowing. Print that out, show that to everybody. You don't need anything else. Right? Just continue to use those tools, find one little video, whatever that is there, and it's third party. And then your team again sees, oh my gosh, what she's doing, I can do. I don't have to be the doctor. So then that can duplicate down faster. So you're the example to what they are going to do as well. When you're answering their questions, refer them back to the tools. Don't be the tool, Dr. Jess, right? I love that. In regards to some of these, we're getting questions on Dr. Brett, your intake form. Dr. Jess, I'm not sure if you have the form where they come in and fill out. Any of you that are here, if you can private message me what intake form that you use, and we'll make sure to get those out to you all so that you can, I'll get it out to the different leaders here and they can disperse and you can make your own how you see fit. In regards to pamphlets, booklets, I know that the banners, I'm not sure where all of you get them made, but if you guys can let us know a contact person's name or whatnot to get those made, we'll put together something, right? Of like, here's where the banners are. Here's where like the collagen booklets. Here's where I know some people get little tablecloths made. It won't be anything fancy because I'm not fancy, but we can at least put all the information together so that you have it. Okay, so everybody put a high five in and be like, okay, I'm going to message my team and she's going to message Michelle, or if you have my phone number, just get me, like right when we get off here, get me that information and we'll be sure to disperse that out. There was a question in regards to that. Are there any state specific regulations regarding network marketing? I believe the answer is for some states, yes, but you have to check your state. Dr. Brett, Jess?
Just check your state.
Check your
Yeah.
state.
That's actually just check it. Every state's different, practice is different, but like also people have been told that there is, and a lot of times it's not the case. Just check your state. And also it really has to do with your ethicalness of how you do it. So just keep that in mind, but check your state. There's no blanket rule on that. And just so you guys, there is no perfect tool,
Yeah,
but an imperfect tool utilized is better than a perfect tool not utilized.
so good. Yes. And Maria, Mama Maria, is the reason why she's called Mama Maria. She knows things. She said there's a customer application in the back office that the patient can use so you don't have to make anything. So if you guys want to go play in that back office library. Maria, can you explain exactly where that's at?
It's super easy. That's the one I've been using. I
Okay.
used to have one like Brett's saying with the pricing, and it would show the price whether they bought it that day or you know, retail at my office, or they bought it at the price that they can get it by ordering online. But the prices change and the packs change, and there's about a bazillion combinations we have for offering. And so I switched to just using that customer agreement, and the only thing I add to it is their credit card information. And if they want to pick their own password. Otherwise, I set their password for them and then send that with when they get their information. But then I just write on it for my staff, like Healthy Glow or you know, Premium Stack or whatever I recommended. And
Okay. So you'll take that application and write on that form what your recommendation is. for it.
exactly. They're going to fill in their own information. It's like their name, their shipping address, their cell phone, their email. It's all the stuff that we have to put in. And then they sign it, and then I write whatever the stack is on there, and they put their credit card information on it too. And then either me or my staff will enter it in before that day ends.
Amazing. Okay, thank you. So for you two, I know we're going a little bit long here, so we'll wrap up here soon. So if you have specific, again, questions, throw them into the chat. How can I clearly explain the value and science behind these products to gain support from other physicians? So you guys are going out and speaking to other physicians. How can we create an additional income stream by sharing the business side with them? So two questions kind of in one.
I'll let Dr. Jessica go first.
All right.
So you got 5 minutes with another medical professional.
Yeah.
And what do you share right away?
Studies, patents, results. And I always share that basic thing that we have going that no one else has, or rarely do you find another company that has. And the process of activation, just explaining what activation is versus supplementation very simply. Like, supplementing, we're bringing something to a cell that a cell doesn't have enough of, or we're trying to get rid of something that's toxic to the cell. But with activating, we're turning on the body's ability to make more of what keeps it healthy, what makes the cell function at its ideal level. And then I go into the fact that we have studies, and the studies, because the studies prove that we do something different, we get patents to protect the formulations and to make sure that we are actually able to prove that we do what we say we do. And then that's why we get results. And then I just say there's only one activation company. There's a billion supplement companies. And then if they're usually, that's about enough for a physician. Like, that's it. Then they want to either see the study, or they want to know, like, what kind of things have I seen changes with, or and that kind of thing. And
And
then talking about income, are you open, just asking the question, are you open to an additional income stream? And some people are, and some people are not. And, some people are also in the position, they're not looking for another job. And so when they first hear you say that, they think, oh, one more thing to do. I remember thinking, yeah, the last thing I need is another job. And so there's the side of, like, there's ability to make an income, and there's ability to make a leveraged income and a residual income, and an income that comes in whether I show up or I don't. And also the potential to impact even more lives than I ever could in my office, one by one. So there's talking about impact, there's talking about how many lives you could possibly impact one-on-one. It's just impossible to do what you can with network marketing. And after, yeah, just going back to Brett's point, after practicing for how many years and going to school for how long and learning and learning and learning and learning and remembering all of the things, my highest paid month I ever paid myself was through network marketing. And so I just think it ultimately comes down to, like, what are you, where are you crunched? Like, if you can't handle another job, you need time freedom more than you need financial freedom. And, so the busiest people in the world, they're the ones that need this as much as the ones that are, like, financially, everything's great, but but there's also the other side of that. There's people that are struggling to make their ends meet. I've seen physicians that, people think because you're the doctor that you're making a good income. And I've seen physicians struggle by for years and years and years, you guys. So there's both sides. People are, what are they looking for, and what are they open to, and what are they willing to do to get that? So it's just, that was longer than 5 minutes, but there you go, Brett.
That was amazing.
I would just say ditto to what Dr. Jessica said, and just see if they're open. And what I mean by that is that, hey, are you fine with where things are right now? And if you stay the same course, are you fine with where it will be in 5 years, 10 years? And when I look at that, that's time, community, results, and money. And that's not just as a physician, that's like time as a whether that's for me, it's time as a dad, that security feeling of knowing I'm going to provide for them and have the time to be with them, and the results that I'm getting. So if you package up the business, so we're all in a business, whatever your business is, network marketing is one of those business models. You're in a business right now, whether you're working as an employee or you're on your own business. Now you're selling a product, whatever that product is, whether that product is you, the service, or it's other products you're selling something. What you're really doing, you're solving a problem. Whatever that problem is that's what service you're selling. And so are you solving the type of problem you want to solve as well as you want to solve it? Is it giving you the time and the impact that you want to have? And the satisfaction, the influence. If it's not, are you open to at least hearing what we do? In my mind, the products are not on trial. Like there's so much super solid science behind it. Like there's so many people on the scientific advisory board, so many medical professionals in this business of network of LifeVantage that like they're 100 times smarter than I am as far as what they know, and they've done the validation. Like there's not a question on that. Like when you look at what we have from a product standpoint, the scientific validation, really cool. The results that I've seen with clients of mine, like so when I look at, I have a friend or a family member or loved one, and they're struggling. This is one of my primary tools to help them. Like if I'm gonna I have someone I really care about, and I want to get results. Like I'm gonna use what works for them because that's my loved one. And so these are the products I use. These are the products I take. These are the products my family takes. And then I have to ask the question: okay, does the business that I'm doing create the life that I want to have? And maybe something that's missed a lot of times is like as physicians, a lot of you guys, gals are pretty lonely. What I mean by that is like we freaking bust our butts and you got to be on all the time. And you really are supposed to know it all. And even when you're making mistakes, you can't really admit it. And it's hard to even tell your spouses sometimes how hard it is. This is me, I'm talking, okay? Because you're supposed to just show up and be that person. Um, this business model, if you open up to it, can give you a community. So when life happens, you have a community. And you have other people like both Dr. Jessica and I and other physicians on here, like we're not special in that way. We want to help people, but we just found another model. Now the reality is, what we weren't looking for it this way. I admit I wasn't looking for network marketing. I didn't really understand what it was. But what we do is we network with people that are like-minded to change the world and help people get what they want, which is health, which is time, which is a community. And we just happen to have a unique space and activation that most people don't know what it is yet. And people, once they figure it out, they utilize it. And right now, it's a perfect opportunity because the world has never been so easy to access. It used to be local, now we're global. And so we're kind of doing this video for two reasons. One, we need more people to share this message because we're going to get bigger. And I don't want to answer all y'all's questions individually. So we're creating a tool so that I'm not a tool. That's what I heard Dr. Jessica tell me. Could be in the tool.
I think you might be a tool. Brett, that was beautiful and that's powerful. And we really, I know it can be scary to talk to medical professionals. I get it. They're human. And everything that Brett says, please take to heart, and Dr. Jess, because it's emotional. And on the other side of things, people think they've got all the money in the world, but think about how much debt that they've had to go through all of the years of schooling, through all the tools, more tools that they have in their practice that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars because they want to continue to get the best things for their patients. So they're going to put more money out there. So just be human and just listen and ask those questions and have them see the vision or share the story. I met this doctor who, oh my gosh, I share Brett's story and I talk about Jess all the time too. It's powerful. And Dr. Joanne Shear-Parkin and Nikki, I don't know if either of you are available, but I do know both of them. Nikki Elsing had enrolled me. Joanne Shear-Parkin enrolled Nikki, and they both work at the Heart Hospital here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and they could not share in the hospital setting. So for those of you that are in the office that cannot share, Joanne, thank you for turning your video on. You're so beautiful. She's been with LifeVantage now. It's going to be 14 years for me any day now. So it's right at the 14 year for you. But Joanne, could you share for a second, how did you do this business when you couldn't share everything within the office to help those that cannot share at the hospital or the practice?
I basically just kept it out of the hospital and shared with people outside the hospital. Of course, Nikki was the first person that I thought of when I enrolled in LifeVantage. Knew she'd be fabulous at this business. Other than Nikki, I think that she's probably the only one. I think one other person that I just couldn't help myself. I had to tell them about something that I thought would change their health. But so other than that, I built it completely out of the hospital. I remember when I had announced my retirement and I was having lunch with the ladies that I'd had lunch with for, I don't know, 2 years that I'd been in LifeVantage. And I said, no, I'm retiring so I can go build my LifeVantage business. And they said, what's LifeVantage? So you see, that's what I had to do, because it was a conflict of interest. This is what you have to do if you're employed, of course, is you have to know your hospital policies. And I knew the hospital policies. And I knew how my boss felt about network marketing, because he told me and actually threatened me in my job at one point. You know that story, even though I wasn't really violating any policies of the hospital. I was very careful about that. And even with that, you know, he called me on it, but I had some defense in that. So anyway, yeah, that's what I did. I think Nikki did the same thing. She'll just tell you. There's just so many people out there. It's just unlimited, you know, where you can go. So, yeah.
Thank you, Joanne. Sorry, we have somebody at the door. Nikki, did you want to add to that? If she's
Yeah,
still-
you know, and I feel like everything Joanne said is so true, and just watching your states like you guys were saying. And I think, you know, Joanne and I were maybe a little disappointed by support in our own professional organization for, you know, expanding this into network marketing, or being able to have a big vision and having it go into network marketing. And so just knowing that the importance of all of us to be able to chat with and communicate with and get support from, and just knowing the influence that we can have. And like Brett was saying before, you know, people are getting this information. They should be getting the information from you as a qualified health practitioner. But yeah, and our reach is extended so much through this. But yeah, pretty much everything Joanne had said, I agree.
Amazing. Thank you. And just you guys, a loving reminder, there are billions in the world. You know, there's so many people in the world. So while it might be really frustrating, and I get it, because I've talked to so many where they're like, oh my gosh, this patient came in today and I know they need it. I know they need it. I know they need it. And I can't say anything. It's so hard on the heart. It's so hard on the heart. It just is. I get it. But stay true to your heart, stay true to your mission, get stuck and grounded into what you're doing. If you are comfortable, maybe you're not comfortable, but I recommend doing what Brett and Jess had mentioned. Get on social media, even a little bit here and there. And Nikki does it, Joanne does it, Jess, Brett, and add value. You don't have to talk about Protandim every day or GLP-1 every day. Go out and talk about, you know, I'm different things. An awesome recipe, you know, the value of drinking X amount of water, get your protein, you know, like all these different things, add constant value to the people. And you know what? Go to Google, go to ChatGPT, give me, you know, 100 reasons how to stay healthy. If you can't think of anything, and it'll give you tons of things that you can talk about, and you can go on for 1 minute once a day, or put things into your story, and they're going to just come to you, and they're going to see you, and they're going to find you. They just will. I know, you know, people come into the offices and they'll say, oh my gosh, I saw you at a meeting. Can we talk? And be like, well, we can talk after, you know, once we get out of the office. So just don't limit yourself and your mind that you can't share it in the office so that you can't do it. Open up your heart, open up your mind, go out into some different networking groups, just keep talking, building relationships, go out with that big, beautiful servant's heart that you have. If you're in the medical profession of any sort, you have a servant's heart. You do. And there's a reason why you're here. And we hope that we gave you guys some value today. I'm going to go through and check some more of these questions because we want to continue to help. But Brett and Jess, I know we're at the hour mark, you guys. Thank you all for being on. I hope this was of help to you guys. Anything else that you guys get asked all the time that we have not addressed, or Shauna, if there's something that we specifically, that I missed, please let us know, but then we'll get this recording out to everybody. And it's my goal to get bite-sized pieces taken out so that we can use these as a tool. If somebody asks, you know, what do you share in the office for marketing? Well, here's what these guys use. And then you'll have like a 2-minute, 1 to 2 minute version of a video. So we'll get those out. Please give me this week to get that done, but I'll make sure to do that as well.
I have one more, Michelle.
Yes.
How did you build the business? Everyone asks me that. And it's the same as how everyone else builds this business, whether they are practitioners or not. You're going to learn the system, ITT, invite to a tool, invite to the team. as a physician, you're still doing that same process. You're going to invite people to look at tools, and you're going to invite them to your team, whatever that looks like. So same thing, like Brett mentioned, making a video with your doctors until your doctor can duplicate the video on their own. But hosting webinars, if you're not in local area, you're doing webinars with your doctors, with your team, not just your doctors. It's whoever is willing to invite to the tool, the meeting, whether that, if it's local, it can be in person, it can be webinars, but you're getting them on there, or you're doing a recording and then you're able to share that recording, but I did all those things. I'm certain Brett can say the same thing. Like whatever I'm asking my team to do, I've done it first. And you get to face rejection. You get to face the dreaded no. It took me a long time to get a no. And then now I know what no feels like, right? So it's just going through the process and that reminder that this is a numbers game. And so if you want to get through this business, and you want to get somewhere fast, then you do it faster. You invite more people to one event. If you can get 50 people on one Zoom versus spending one-on-one 50 times, do you see how that condenses your time frame of doing this? If you're a physician, invite people to get on a webinar you're hosting. And then you get on at the very beginning, you welcome them, you introduce the other person that's going to do your speaking, who doesn't have to be a doctor, by the way. You're going to introduce them, they speak, but all of your people got onto this meeting because you invited them. So I think a lot of it is just going to be still coming back to like the basic stuff you're going to learn. You as a physician must do as well. And if you expect your team to do it, you better go first. And so it's setting up that launch Zoom. It's setting up the launch in-person meeting. It's getting people in three-way calls if you need to. It's doing those one-on-ones for the ones that can't get on those that you really feel like you're going to give that extra time to. But it's figuring out how to condense your time as well. So doing that system, that's so huge. And for most physicians, it's nailing them down to like, pick a date. What date this week works? And once they set the date, then they'll do the inviting. But if you just wait for them to like come up with a time that may work in their schedule, well, guess what? They're busy. So it's committing to helping them commit to the process too, and do what you did. Do whether you're a physician or not. It's the same system. We all have the same thing. The benefit of being a physician is you probably already have some notoriety in the health field. Like they already have a belief in you and a reason to listen to you, maybe that they don't have in every one of their other friends, right? But that doesn't mean that they're in or they're out. All you're asking them to do is just take a look, and that's it. Care about them enough to open your mouth and invite, and get that meeting set up soon as possible, your first one. And then that first one leads to your next one, and leads to your next one, and leads to more yeses and more people
Hi there.
seeing this.
I think I'm in the system. I talked to Ray and we were,
Sorry, Brett, I can't.
you told me to just save the most
Allison.
recent ones.
What's the phone number? I need everybody.
602-670-95.
Okay, unmute Jessica.
Yep.
That's all I had. That's all I had. I just wanted to reemphasize that as physicians, just don't get hung up on like how this has to look different than everybody else's. It really doesn't. And whether you're doing that in your office or in your office, like I did lunch and learns, I did early morning ones, I did evening meetings. You pick what works for you and your patients and what they're saying yes to. What are they requesting? And then the world went to all Zooms, and people were all in on like, let's Zoom for everything. And now people like want that in person as well. So, you pick whatever, but you're following that system. And, as a physician, you do that. Serve your patients by inviting them. Let them take a look. No guarantee for the outcome, like no holding them accountable to what they choose, yes or no. You're just asking them to take a look. That's it.
Amazing. Mic drop. Brett?
She got it. You got
got
it. Just if you're here for, if you're having this conversation, just be open to it and really see if it's a fit for yourself. Like, and if you're happy with where you're at and where you're going, and great, stay that course. If you're like, hey, there's something here, explore it. And do it by like coming to an event, meet the people, really see what this is about, and see if it's what you want to be a part of, and you'll either know one way or the other. And the reality is, love the results I'm getting, love the community I've been a part of, and the time it's getting me back with my family. Can't replace that. So you guys are great. Look forward to it. But we need more of you. That's all of you. And if there's something's pricking your heart right now, like, explore it and let's go.
I love that. Okay, we're gonna close. I have one last question because I had it text me a couple times. It's a quick and easy answer. I know you both want to set people up on subscription immediately. You guys, don't be selling this only in your office. Like you heard them both. They get it, they have a plan, they get them on subscription right away. Please, please, please. It won't work because they're going to not be able to come back in. They're going to forget, they're going to go on vacation, you want them on subscription. But if you do something as far as retail, because they want to grab something off the shelf, a skincare, a something, or they're running out of town at the last second, and it is retail. We have the retail prices on our website, right? We've got retail, wholesale, and then consultant prices. But do you put them at that price, Brett, or do you put it even higher because you have to pay for shipping and all that? How high above?
In my office, it's covering all my costs. It's retail
Yes.
plus, right?
Good.
And here's the reality, like, just be honest, guys. Like, if you talk about products in your practice, and you ever have, I have sold so much product for Amazon, it makes me sick.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely nauseating. And people bring me freaking bucket loads of crap that hasn't worked for them, doesn't work for them, but they're just trying to do the best they can. I want them on subscription because they save money, and I don't want them to come off. Like, I really don't, right? And so this allows us to do that. Most of products I've used in the past don't have it as an option. They save money when they have it come on subscription. They have complete control over that. Like, just get over that part of the model. That model is happening everywhere.
Yes.
You can either participate in it, or you can be the one participating in it, right? Because that's where everything's going. So learn to utilize that to your benefit. But to me, like, now I can educate them. I can keep them in the loop, because like, chiropractic's great. But like, in reality, if I could adjust you one time, that's not changing your life as much as if I could actually have you be a long-term client and help you learn how to manage your health on a whole different level. Same thing with the dentist. You can't see the dentist once, right? So you can't expect to like exercise once and get results. Like, give me a break, right? So do you want to activate your body a minute or a lifetime? Like, do you want to activate your income a minute or a lifetime? Do you want to be a time creator? Like, you got to choose the business model and the community that allows you to do that. And that's this for me. This allows me to do those things. It gives me time. It gives me impact. It's congruent with what I want to do to help people. If you can find businesses like that, if it's not this, do it, right? And it's got to check those boxes for me.
Beautiful. Okay, well, we are over the hour. Again, we'll get this kind of divvied up. You guys, let's first of all give a massive high five for Miss Shauna Loggy for getting this organized. She was just with Dr. Brett, and she's been wanting this for a long time, and we have as well. So it takes action. So I want you guys to all remember, when there's something on your heart that you know that your team needs, when you know that LifeVantage needs it, get it done. Be the one that asks the questions. Don't wait. Shauna didn't wait. She's like, let's get this done. And so she had to keep following up with Brett and I, right? So thank you, Shauna. Shauna is the one that is the reason that we are all here. Dr. Brett, Jess, everybody else that shared today, thank you so much for taking the time. We know how you guys are bombarded by all of us every day. Let's make a pact, all of us. We are not going to be the tool. We are going to use the tools, right? We are going to use the tools. It might take a little bit of time to get those organized. Stay in action. We're going to all get them, and take ownership of your business. Just own it. Okay, know that you're here for a purpose, and we just love you to pieces. We honor you, and we're here to support you. And get your tails to convention. If you are not registered, you got to be there. You got to be at the healthcare meeting. Why? You're going to meet, you're going to connect, you're going to hear stories. And if you want your business to grow, that's how it's going to grow, by being there. Mama Po, I'm just telling you, you got to get there. You got to meet them, and then you're going to get the vision. And if you want to help your people, that's how you do it. You get there. Just because I'm saying it strong because I love you. Okay. All right. Thank you all so much. High five for Jess and Dr. Brett, Dr. Jess, Dr. Brett. Thank you. And everybody. Bless you all. We're here for you. Have an amazing rest of your week. Bye, guys. Oh, hey, Eric Worre is going to be on our call tonight, you guys. I know Brett's like, oh God, she never shuts up. Eric Worre is going to be on our call tonight at 7:30 Central. Everybody is welcome. All teams are welcome. 7:30 Central. Our team line. Love you. You
Thank
love me
you,
too.
Michelle. Thanks, Michelle. Great job.
Love you all.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
You guys are awesome.